Yes, we are on live now. Very good morning and welcome you all. I am Dr. V.L. Jyoti, Head Computer Science Department at GSS JAIN College. On behalf of our Honorable Secretary and Correspondent and our Principal, I extend a very warm welcome to the speaker of today's FDP session, Squadron Leader, SHREE Unni Nair, Director at Excel Group. Welcome you, sir. I also extend my hearty welcome to all the educators. Thank you all for joining us. The session is organized in the following way. After an introduction about our speaker, the session starts and ends up with a question and answer session for 15 minutes. The questions can be posted in the chat window and it will be clarified by our speaker. Feedback link will be posted in the chat window at the end. Fill in the feedback with a proper mail ID and certificate will be sent to that mail ID. The topic of today's FDP session is Be and Lead the Change for Positivity, which is an essential thought process for educators like us during this pandemic period. To amplify our positive thinking, we will move on to our session. May I call upon Dr. Ishwari to introduce our speaker, Squadron Leader, SHREE Unni Nair. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, and all present here. On behalf of GSS JAIN College, it's our privilege to welcome our today's resource person, Squadron Leader, Shri Unni Nair Sir, Director at Group. He did his Master in Personal Management following military experience and accomplishments of NCC 5 years, Air Force, Indian Air Force military operations in Punjab, Ladakh, Siachen glaciers, and during Kargil Operation Planning System. He also added as Chief Air Staff Commendation and Commando courses at NSG Training Center 2. He has special learning towards music, dancing, basketball, volleyball, yoga, physical fitness, and so on. Let me tell you, he has some accomplishments in adventure. 100 hours in gliders, PhD, microlight flying, skydiving, instructor of parasailing, scuba diving, water rafting. His current engagements are director at Excel Group, training and coaching, engaging people of all nations to move towards their greatest accomplishment since 2003. In spite of your schedules, you accepted our invitation and here to guide us, sir. I once again welcome you, sir. Now the stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Ishwari. Thank you, Jyoti. And I hope I'm audible enough. And I'm very glad to be with GSS JAIN College and all the faculty of this particular college. I'm really not sure how many are there in the session because I'm not able to see them. But nevertheless, I hope you're able to see and hear me. So I thought that I would be able to, speak a little about what I feel should be the role of any of you as faculty of any institution. I feel that, there were days when our teachers used to be role models for us. I'm really not sure if most of our, wards these days have any role models at all. I think they're more in tune with, just doing primary mediocre activity and more with the cell phone and, stuff like that. I'm really not sure if they hold anyone in great esteem. I don't think they had the opportunity to be, in front of people who really made a difference in their life and impact them so powerfully that it makes a difference in the way they live their lives. Okay, so I don't know if that has happened to them. So in case it has not yet happened to them, I think it's high time it did. And that has to happen only through you. And you are going to be the ones who will, modulate and moderate and modify these people towards their greatest accomplishments, right? So the two things that I talk about whenever I do faculty programs is that essentially the focus should be on two things. Number one, that if you are expecting excellence from your wards, you have to be proof for that. Okay, you have to be a living example of that. You can't expect them to be something that you can't showcase yourself. No, yeah, I mean that wouldn't be the right thing to do. Secondly, we have to adapt to the change. We can't live in old philosophies and old methodologies. We need to embrace change. Like technology is something that you just can't do without, right? I mean, look at us now. Do you think this would have been the normal way we would have interacted with each other if technology wasn't, actually as good as what it is right now? We would have met. I mean, hopefully, we would have met. There would have been a time problem, there would have been a sequence problem, there would have been new people reaching in problem. All of these things would have been a problem for this particular program to happen. But now that it is on the internet, we have embraced it, and then you're immediately able to be connected with so many people, right? So I guess we have to adapt also, not only to technology, but also to the change that is happening across the world, to the way the students are going to be. The way they are going to be influenced has changed drastically from what it was before, right? I mean, so that adaptability that we need to have is very, very important, and that also includes learning methodologies. You still can't hold the chalk and say that I will write on the blackboard and you learn from it. It just doesn't happen like that. So what I want to focus with you, all of you, is to firstly remember that all those students are special. Just like you're special, they're also special. And in spite of little things that you feel they could do better, little inadequacies that they all have something special, and they're just awaiting a spark in their life that can transform them and help them transform the world around them, right? So I'm going to start off with something that I'll share with all of you. It's a performance by a young boy called Cody Lee, who is blind and autistic, and he goes to this America's Got Talent, and he has this this experience where he performs in front of them. So I'm going to show you that particular video, and we'll see how we can take it from there.
Welcome to America's Got Talent. What's your name?
I'm Cody.
Hi, Cody.
Hi, Cody.
How old are you?
I am 22 years old.
Yeah.
Who are you, miss? Who are you?
I'm Mom.
Oh,
I'm
hi,
Tina
Mom.
Lee. Hi, Tina. How are you? What are you going to do here for us today?
I'm going to sing a song for you on the piano.
I love it. Tina, tell us a little bit about Cody. Cody is blind and autistic.
Wow.
We found out that he loved music really early on. He listened and his eyes just went huge, and he started singing. And that's when I was in tears, because that's when I realized, oh my gosh, he's an entertainer. So, yeah.
Yeah. I've been to so many places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs, and I made some bad rhymes. I've acted out my life on stages, 10,000 people watching, yeah. We're alone now, and I'm singing a song to you. I love you in a place, oh, there's no space or time. I love you from my life. You're a friend of mine. But when my life is over, remember we together. We're alone now. I'm singing this song to you. I'm singing this song to you.
So, I don't know how many of you had tears in your eyes. Multiple times I have seen it. I have tears in my eyes. So, this is how you should feel about your wards when they do something, right? And this is what you should encourage them to do. So, we are all part of the support system. And the support system, like you saw the mom, you saw their siblings, you saw the way the judges reacted to him initially, and then they supported him. See, we are the ones who are going to build these performers. Now, I'll also share with you this person called Cody Lee. In that particular season of America's Got Talent, went on to win it. Okay, when he started, this was the first audition that he had. So I'm saying, if everyone who's part of your class, your session, your responsibility, and everyone had something special, and you were able to just touch that particular point where they transformed into something beautiful, I think that would be something that you will remember when you are, completing this whole tenure of this lifetime. And that is the important thing for us to remember. For us to remember that we are the ones who can metamorph these people. Okay, they can become these brilliant human beings who make a difference in the life. Yeah. So if you can look at yourself as those role models, okay, the people who guide them to be something special, I think we are doing a great job. Okay. Now, it might come to you that you might probably have not had an experience which made you glow, right? Okay, you might have had various experiences, but it really didn't, power you to be something else. So it's not a bad place to start. Okay, you can start at any time. So that's why I'm going to share this video with you to say there is no particular age when you need to move into excellence. Okay, like I said, if you want excellence from someone, you need to be excellent yourself, right? So this journey of excellence starts with just a thought and an act. It doesn't have to be, a special time, New Year. It doesn't have to be all that. Okay, it can be at any time, at any age. We try to that kind of a feeling that we bring age into this matter of transforming into something else. It just doesn't matter at all. I used to know a gentleman who started learning violin when he was 70. I mean, why should anyone learn 70? 70 is just the last phase, right? I mean, that's the point. There is no age for this. And that's why I'm going to share 2 videos with you. In fact, one will be a very short one, just to show you that, age, what age are we talking about? You can do anything at any age. So that's what we're going to show you now.
I only started running when I was 95.
Okay, I'm going to just restart.
When I was 95.
Ready, set, go. Yes, yes.
I'm 97 now and just sort of beginning to realize how much I don't know.
Okay, so he started running when he was 95. He must have completed everything that he had to do in his life. He's already done it. Okay, but then he takes up this passion of running at 95. That's not enough. Okay, but where is your fire? Where's your desire? Where's your goal? Is a question that all of us have, right? So this guy's goal was to become the world champion. So in sports, if you were sports people before, just realize that there is no end, there's no shelf life, there's no retirement, because you can compete at an international level at all age groups. So 35 and beyond, every 5 years that slot is available for you to take part in world championships. Okay, like this is for the category 95 to 100, the world championship 25-meter run. Okay, and that is what they're competing for, and Charles is part of it.
I'm running for my life, amongst other things. You can start a new life at any age.
And that's the point that I want to tell you. Okay, you can start anything that you want to do, anything at any age. And I think the time is now. You shouldn't be waiting for Corona to be over, lockdown to be over, that to be over, this to be. In fact, we have heard enough of Corona. Yeah. I mean, we are just moving with this overflow of information, and we keep just streaming along, not doing things on our own, but waiting for information from others to seep into you to do something. I mean, it's high time we took charge of our lives and made a difference for ourselves. Okay, I used to do these programs with corporates and with institutions and all that. So I used to normally start with this particular video telling that, okay, the change can happen with you at any time. And I used to show Charles Euster, and I used to feel, yeah, we don't have anyone in India. I mean, is there no, role models in India? Of course there are plenty of them. But I wanted to connect it with sports, because sports is a challenger at any time, So I was hunting, and I was so amazed a couple of years back. I saw this particular video of a person called Mankor. One of my first postings in the armed forces was in Punjab, and I have a great fondness for the people of Punjab because they are in crisis. They are with you. Okay, though we make a lot of fun of Punjabis and all that, Punjabi jokes la crack pannuvom, but a crisis abdinu vandadna, they are there with you. So it's very interesting how these people are. They're a different breed of people. So this lady comes from Patiala in Punjab, and just see what she's doing. Amazing stuff, amazing. Really, it's so important for us to learn from these people. And her name is Mankor. I'm just going to share the screen. A little bit unfamiliar with the stream part of it. Okay, so this is Mankor. So let me share with you. She started running when she was 93. Her son was 78 at that particular time, and he was also a world champion in, I think, the 800 meters run. And in some discussion, the son asked her, "Enna pannittu irukeenga? I mean, 93 paravaliya neenga oru nalla thana irukku. Why don't you run?" And she started running. She's 100 plus, 101 when she won this particular world champion title in 100 meters with a world record. 1 minute and 14 seconds is a world record that she holds in her name. And that's not all. She also is the world champion for 200 meters, and she's also the world champion for the javelin throw, in which she's got a world record herself. My point is, I mean, what's that in these people that motivates them to do so much wherever they are or whoever they are? I mean, that's the amazing thing that I want you to kind of register, because you can do anything that you want at anywhere that you want. You don't need to say that I have to be in this particular place, I have to be in this position, I have to be in this institution, I have to. I mean, these are all expectations which probably are not governed by you. What is governed by you is you. I mean, what can you do yourself? Okay. So I always have this quote that I use from Swami Chinmayananda to say that knowing is not doing. We all know, oh, we have to be like this, we have to do this. We know, but knowing is not doing. Doing is doing. Okay, that means you know and you perform. That is doing. Just because you know doesn't mean anything at all. Knowing is just first part of it. You need to be doing something. So that's the important part. So when you're about yourself, you can be something that these wards of yours will look at and say that, oh boy, this is what I want to be, and I want to be more than that. They have that particular movie or something like that where they say, Guru Minjana Shishidu. I mean, the person who just went beyond what the Guru was. I mean, that is probably the role that you need to take, okay, of being able to motivate these people to be much beyond who you are. But for that, you have to set a standard, right? So that's where all faculty should be. You are facilitators. You're no more teachers. You're not trainers. You're facilitators. That means you facilitate the transformation of the people who look up to you. So that's where you are. Okay, now look at Abdul Kalam also. He's a great role model. I've not heard even one person talk a negative comment about a person like Abdul Kalam. Where does he come from? What was his background? How did he sell newspapers to get his education through in the matriculation stage? How he was from MIT, he applied for the armed forces, got rejected, and went on to become the missile man of the country. And then he was given an honorary rank from the army as a brigadier. When he became the president of the country, he became the supreme commander of all the Indian armed forces, which rejected him when he applied, when he was a kid. Now, those are role models, okay? So they also have come from very, very, humble beginnings. I have come from humble beginnings. My father used to walk 11 miles to school. When he joined the armed forces, he had just two undergarments and 2 veshtis. And the first thing they issued him was shoes. So that's what he started with. He knew only one language. We all probably picked up English from him because he could speak English well. How? I mean, because he had that aspiration to be better than who he is. So we all started with humble beginnings. And if we can just look at the fact that you have potential, and we should be able to maximize that potential and be an example to someone, is the thought process that I want to leave you with. I said the role model is the first part of it, and the second part of it is being able to adapt to the methodologies that the youngsters will look forward to. If you kind of are proud to be Indian, the kind of heritage that we had, the kind of excellent progress we had made in science and technology, medicine, and even in education. The concept of Gurukulam was about grooming these people who come into that particular Gurukulam to be the best of themselves. That was Gurukulam, right? We need to get back to it. We have kind of been attacked by the British, let's say the conquerors in multiple ways, and we have kind of got our independence, but we are still stuck in that particular mold. Like the academic education system that you have now has flaws, so many of them, okay, and we are also tied by those flaws, right? And it's time to kind of break out of that particular mold and do something different. If you're going to be only with just read and reproduce technology, you're going to be far away from reality. You're never going to be able to create the cream of people. You will be mediocre. The IT industry, which is a booming industry and everyone wants to be a part of the IT industry, is a very ordinary, mediocre job that people are doing in India. We are not the actual action. We are not the Sundar Pichais of the world. Okay, we need to be there. All right. So how are we going to be there? Because the academic system modifies into an experiential mode. That means it uses multiple intelligence. So this is the thought that I want to leave you with. I think you must have done your B.Ed and you must have done some, stuff like that. So you must have talked about multiple intelligence, right? If you haven't, or if you've done it, you've forgotten, whatever, go back to Google. Google is technology. Please use it, okay? And find out what these multiple intelligences are. There are plentiful. Okay, and saying use your methodology of multiple intelligence to tackle these people who are right now dull. They're intelligent. They need to be brought out, So you need to kind of use multiple intelligence for this. Of course, there is mathematical reasoning in there. There is kinesthetics. There are so many different things. There's music. There's nature. So many connects that you can use to make these people respond to you. Like, for example, music, right? Can music be used as methodology of training? Of course, it can be used. In fact, to give you an information, I was called by the TANSHI, the Tamil Nadu State Council for Higher Education, to do a faculty development program for English professors of the entire Tamil Nadu. So we had about 52 odd participants in that particular program, and I was told, "Sir, can you focus on music as being a tool?" And I took up the program, and I included music. When I started with just general music. Okay, that means everyone kind of are familiar with music. I thought that I was not able to get through, so I went into nursery rhymes, which everyone learns, right? I used karaoke for that. I used Christmas songs, because quite a few of you might have gone through Christian institutions and learned, at least the basic. Christmas is a pretty involved affair in Tamil Nadu, so you must have seen at least something. Carols, everyone knows Jingle Bells. So my point is, I used carols. Okay, then I used local music. I used the cinema music, and I asked them to transliterate. I asked them to move. I'll show you the example. I'll just show you how it works. Okay, and you can all probably join in. So I'm going to share a screen of a song which is in karaoke, and there will be lyrics also there, so you guys also can follow through. You can also participate in it. Why I'm using karaoke is, one, music energizes all of us. It doesn't matter what kind of music you like. Music by itself, okay, you don't need to go into general Gana Patu, that thing. You don't need to go that, but music by itself energizes you. In fact, when I'm doing motivational programs for students also, I tell them, I use song as a part of it. I tell them, listen, if you have to really understand the music and probably get lyrics which make meaning to you, if I were to really give you a message, I can do it through a song. Okay, if you take old MGR part and all that, there are some amazing music, some amazing songs. There is so many beautiful video adaptations of it, and also the lyrics, brilliant ones. It says so much about how life should be led, and that's what I play for them also. And I say, you need to know yourself if you have to be educated. Education is not about getting a degree, but understanding who you are and what you are and what you can be. That's the point. So you can do it through a song. How? I'll show you how you can do it. Okay. See, music is coming. Lyrics are coming in English. உன்னை அறிந்தால் நீ உன்னை அறிந்தால் உலகத்தில் போராடல், உயர்ந்தாலும் தாழ்ந்தாலும் தலை வணங்காமல் நீ வாழலாம். உன்னை அறிந்தால் நீ உன்னை அறிந்தால் உலகத்தில் போராடலாம், உயர்ந்தாலும் தாழ்ந்தாலும் தலை வணங்காமல் நீ வாழலாம். Look at the meaning of these words. How you can explain to these kids? மானம் பெரியதென்று வாழும் மனிதர்களை மான் என்று சொல்வதில்லையா, தன்னை தானும் அறிந்து கொண்டு ஊருக்கும் சொல்பவர்கள் தலைவர்கள் ஆவதில்லையா. மாயதென்று வாழும் மனிதர்களை மான் என்று சொல்வதில், தன்னை தானும் அறிந்து கொண்டு ஊருக்கும் சொல்பவர்கள் தலைவர்கள் ஆவதில்லையா. உலகத்தில் போராடலாம், உயர்ந்தாலும் தாழ்ந்தாலும் தலை வணங்காமல் நீ வாழலாம். So my point to you is, see how music, you mean to say they won't respond? Of course they will respond. It's rowdy baby for all that matter, but you can shift the lyrics. Okay, you can move the lyrics to a different part so that they kind of respond positively to you. In fact, I keep using the example of my college when I was in Loyola, where I said we used to be in the back bench. I don't know how many of you in the faculty here are in the back bench, but if you see a back bench guy, you'll be very, very aware of the fact that they will probably be the smartest of them. Okay, so you can utilize them to, kind of power up the energy. So that's how you should be able to do it. So we were in the last bench also, and at that time Ilayaraja was he was making waves all over the place. Look at Ilayaraja also. He's a role model too. Comes from a very, very small unknown district, Punayarkuppam of Theni district, and he comes out of the village and comes to a city like Chennai. And he doesn't choose a traditional folk instrument. He chooses the guitar. Okay, just imagine. And he goes to do guitar not of the Carnatic South Indian folk music and all. He learns the Western classical guitar and does with the Trinity College of Music. And he uses a lot of guitar in his music when he became a musician. He played with Salil Chowdhury as a guitarist before he became a composer by himself. And he used the guitar. And that time when he was really doing great music, it was a music retreat, right? So in the last bench, we were also kind of motivated, like, some of the songs and all that. We knew the Tamil version, we knew the instrumentation, the all of the music in between. We knew how the particular song was converted to another language, and we knew the words of that. So we had made, in the last bench, we had made a complete the original song was in Tamil, then you had the Hindi version of it, and then we created the transliteration of that particular song into English. So I used that as an example, okay, of showing how the same music can be used for learning. I mean, initially, what did you say? You said, okay, you like song, okay, great. Okay, these are the lyrics. You understand the lyrics? Great. So can you translate it into something? Can you do much more with it? I mean, that's the way we used music. So I used to play this particular song and show them how you can do it. Like this particular Payanangal Mudivudalai movie was a brilliant movie primarily because of the music, right? And then in the music itself, we used to have the guitar and stuff like that. And when it shifted to a Hindi movie called Kalakar, and Kishore Kumar sang that particular song, of course, it became a huge. It was brilliant. So when finally it came up to the fact that we had to do a transliteration. Also, we had to keep all those elements in mind. We had to keep the meaning of the song, the timing of the song. All of those things we need to keep in mind when we sang this particular song. So I'm just going. We'll just go in between so that you all will probably be familiar with this song, Leah. Yeah, I'm sure you are. வருமழையில் பனிமழையில் பருவநிலா தினம் நனையும் முகிலெடுத்து முகம் துடைத்து விடியும் வரை நடைபழகும். வருமழையில் பனிமழையில் பருவநிலா தினம் நனையும் முகிலெடுத்து முகம் துடைத்து விடியும் வரை நடைபழகும். வானவீதியில் மேக ஊர்வலம் காணும் போதிலே ஆறுதல் தரும் பருவமகள் விழிகளிலே கணம் வரும். नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए, ऐसा कोई साथी हो, ऐसा कोई प्रेमी हो, प्यास दिल की बुझा जाए, नीले नीले अंबर पर चांद जब आए. So I used to sing the Tamil portion in the initial part and then shifted to the Hindi part of it and then go back to the Tamil depending on the crowd. If there was more people from Tamil Nadu, I used to sing the Tamil part of it. Otherwise I used to mix it up depending on what the crowd is. So this time I'm going to sing the second part also in Tamil. முகிலினங்கள் அலைகிறதே, முகவரிகள் தொலைந்தனவோ, முகவரிகள் தவறியதால் அழுதிடுமோ அது மழையில். முகிலினங்கள் அலைகிறதே, முகவரிகள் தொலைந்தனவோ, முகவரிகள் தவறியதால் அழுதிடுமோ அது மழையில். நீலவானிலே வெள்ளியோடைகள் ஓடுகின்றதே, என்ன ஜாடைகள் விண்வெளியில் விதைத்தது யார் நவமணிகள். I'm shifting to English. Young and soft moonlight spark above, all through to the heart, drenching me below. Traveling floating clouds come to me in dreams. I see festivities in the sky. இளைய நிலா ஒழிகிறது. This guitar was played by Ilayaraja himself on an acoustic guitar. Okay, just imagine, if you were to tell these kids, especially what I've seen in the trend with most of the institutions now, they're very comfortable with their vernacular language. Okay, they're very comfortable with whatever they've grown up with. If Tamil is Tamil, Tamil. If it is Hindi, Hindi. Especially in the northern belts of the state, predominantly Hindi is spoken, and so Hindi. All right. But I'm saying, if you want to look at people as being global, can you avoid English? Can't avoid English, right? So you have to be up in there. I'm not saying you shouldn't respect your own vernacular, you shouldn't speak in your language. No, I'm not saying that at all. But if you have to address an international community, you have to have a common language, which most of the places is English. Okay. Now China is doing great for themselves, but if they have to be a player in the global world, they have to improve on their English, because if you go there, no one speaks in English. So who's going to be coming there at all, right? So this applies to everyone. This applies to people from Tamil Nadu also. You can't say that I'm going to be a frog in the well, I'm going to be only in Tamil Nadu, I'll speak only in Tamil. No, these are all political motivations. Okay, you have to move beyond that. You should be able to speak in Tamil also, but you should be able to speak in multiple languages, including English. So if you were to tell a person, look at this here, if there is a song you like, whether it be in Hindi or Tamil or whatever language that might be, and if you can transliterate it into English, for example, what are you doing? You're making this kid aware of the music, you're making him aware of the lyrics, you're also making him aware of the fact that he understands the script and the language, which is probably difficult for him now, and you have made an impact on him. So I'm saying, why don't you just shift your attention to find out how could you make your own sessions interesting? Just imagine you add music. I'm not saying it should be music. You don't need to be a singer or a performer to do activities in class. It can be anything. Like I said, multiple intelligence. You can even bring a leaf out of the tree outside and create a session using that. Okay, I'll give you a little example. If I have to talk about, say time management, everyone must be critical about time management. We don't have time. Everyone must be saying, and we can easily do an activity. So what you can do, you've got say 50 children in a class. Okay, make them into 5 teams of 10 each. Okay, give them 5 paper cups. Paper cups accessible, very simple, right? Give it to them and give them 3 minutes time. Tell them to fill the cup and bring it back. Okay, and you can also tell them there are 2 ways of filling the cup. Okay, one, You just get one or two stuff, water, just fill up the cup and bring it, okay? Or you can bring so many things that you can add into the cup and see how you can fill it up with multiple things, not the same thing. So that means even if you put 2 stones, only 1 stone will be counted. And we make an assessment of these 5 teams as to what have they filled that particular cup with. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed to see the kind of creativity they come up with. It's amazing. And I have seen people even bringing 50 items in that little paper cup. So many different things. It included, pebbles, sand, water, insect, hair, ring. I mean, it's so many things, coin. And then when you're debriefing them, when you're explaining this particular activity with them, you tell them, see, what did you do? You had 3 minutes, not too much time, nothing to, really, drift the time away. You had to be fast, right? You had to think out of the box. You had to be active. You had to move around. The crowd had to move around, okay? Everyone had to participate. Leadership came out, right? All of those things happened in just one activity, which was 3 minutes long. Okay, and when you ask them to count these stuff and you tell them, see, in a little cup, what all can you fill? Easiest was just filling one thing. Like, for example, if you were to compare that to life, if you have to fill your 24 hours, fill it with only sleeping, one thing. It'll be only one. But supposing you were to make every hour count and you had, say, 20 different activities that we were doing in a day, giving importance to those that needed more time and giving lesser importance to those that don't need that much time. And so many different things if you're able to do in that 24 hours, just like you filled so many things into this cup. Just imagine how their lives would be. What an example, right? What an amazing way of letting people know, listen, there is something called potential in you and you're using only 5 or 10% of it. Do something, move, okay? Do so many things. Make your little cup fully engaged, right? I mean, if you can tell them if you could live life like that, how beautifully the lesson is learned, right? You don't need to give them stories. You don't need to give them, a big, run-up or prose or moral lecture. You need to just show them. When they see it, it impacts, okay? So I don't know how many of you know, you might have done it in your psychology or you might have done in some of these studies that you do. The brain has got 100 billion brain cells. 100 billion. We are not talking only rendu. We are talking 100 billion brain cells that you have, of which only 1.25% is used. Just imagine now. We are using 1 billion where we had 100 billion. Okay. The left brain is more active, used more. Right brain is the creative side, used less. So supposing we were able to make this consciousness in our students, saying that, boss, you have so much potential. Why don't you do something about it? Why don't you make it so much more impressive and active? If something can be done there, you will see the amazing results that transform. Okay, even give it as a percentage. No? Supposing even if you're able to make a transformation in, say, 30% of the people that you're engaging with, isn't it a brilliant impact that you have made? Just imagine what they can do in turn. All multi-level marketing is all about that, no? Chain. Okay, if you can create 1 and he can create 3, that 3 can create 9. I mean, look at the kind of transformation that will happen in the universe. So you're all actually, like substations of energy. If I were to, conclude, come closer to closing my talk, I would say that you are the energy managers. You're substations of energy, substations of power, substations of responsibility. Okay. Supposing you can create little smaller substations of the same positive energy, the same excellence model. Just imagine the kind of transformation you can make across the whole state, the whole country, even the world. Why not? I mean, so that is where you all need to be seeing yourself. Number 1, that I have a responsibility. I've got a huge, noble responsibility of being able to influence the mind of young people. No, it's very great saying that 55%, 60% will be youth and all that. But what is that youth about, yaar? What are they capable of? Are they capable of something? Yes, no doubts about it. But are they doing anything about that capability? I mean, that's the sad part. No? We can't say that, yeah, they have the potential. it has to translate into action. It has to translate into kinetic, right? So that's the exercise that you are involved in. Okay, you are the people who are going to be facilitating that particular change and transformation in this youth that we are so proud of. Okay, if you can make that change, that impact, oh, you're really the power. I mean, you're like those Greek gods who have made influence in the world, right? We can create an Atlantis, okay, by you being at the helm of things. Okay, so like I said, you have that noble responsibility, but then if you have to get across to people, you have to speak their language. You might have to speak even the vernacular language, but you need to show them vernacular language is not the be all and end all. You need to move beyond that. You need to be able to touch base with reality, with other things around the world. You have to look at yourself as a global player. You can't be only in your own little cubicles and hope change will happen or you will become successful. You know, even the success is a huge, whether it's, I mean, most of the kids feel that success is all about how much money you earn, and unfortunately, they'll be so mistaken and unhappy by the end of it. I think we need to teach them that that is not the key. You know, happiness is within. All right, what you have, if you're content with, you're happy, and if you're discontent, even if you have everything, you're unhappy. So that is a lesson that we need to train our students in. So being the role model, being this particular force, this substation of energy that you can convert people into being something else, and being able to speak in the methodology that they would be used to, is the message that I have to carry for you guys. So I'm going to close here. I'm going to close with just this particular statement that if you can be the change, and you can lead this particular change in the people who look up to you. I think we are doing a great job as faculty. You're doing a great job as responsible citizens of this country. And that's the message that I have for you. So I will open this particular session for queries and questions. I'm not sure how you're going to do it, whether someone pops up and asks the question and goes back, or the question comes in the chat box to the moderator and he asks me that question. Whichever way, I will attempt do my best to kind of give you an answer that makes adds value. Yeah, so I'm done.
Thank you, sir. And your
Yes,
presentation, yes, your presentation, your speech, your song, it influences all of us towards positive way, sir. And thank you so much.
thank you so much.
And, so now the session is open for question and answer, Q&A. So faculty members can post your question in the comment box, so that that will be answered by our speaker.
Okay, I see one question that is popped. Do I just go ahead and answer these questions, Jyoti?
Yes, please. Yes, please, sir. Please, sir.
Fine. Okay, so we have this question from Manoj. See, this negativity and work pressure everyone has, yeah. Okay. So whenever people ask me, sir, how can you be happy all the time, sir? No, you can't be. All right. But my position to you is, do you want to be unhappy or you want to be happy? You want to be happy now. So why should you be in negativity? Okay, if you're in this comfort zone of negativity and want to be there, no one can help you. But if you're in a position saying that I don't need to be in negativity too long, then automatically you'll pop up. Okay, it is not dependent on external factors. Happiness is not outside you; it is within you. No matter what you want. See, I'll give you a little example. Okay, my co-director Sonali and I, we keep going to the beach and just observing things. Okay, so once we went out there, And we saw this little boy, ragged clothes, obviously from the slum close by. Okay, and he was there. We were watching him for about 45 minutes, and he was so happy with himself. Okay, and he was doing a game with basically just one small little activity. You know what was that? He had the wheel of a the broken wheel of a suitcase. That is what he had. And with that, he was creating this imagery, and he was so blissfully unaware of what was happening around him. He was so happy within himself. Okay, this little broken wheel of a suitcase. Just think about it. Where our children want one Xbox and PS4 and computer and mobile phone and all of these things. This guy was in the sun with one broken wheel. Just think about it. If he actually wanted to be negative, have pressure from his home and that and this thing and all of that stuff, he could have been there. But he wasn't there. It is not what he had, it was what he did with it. The same thing with you. What you have doesn't matter, sir. What you do with it matters. So to me, wherever you are, you're in a very, in the position that you have to be. Either you have created it or you have succumbed to it. So if you have to get out of this work pressure and all that, I mean, if you didn't have pressure, will you be happy? Then also you'll be unhappy, right? So there is negative stress, there is positive stress. Stress is reality. Okay, how you handle that, actually matters in the way negative or positive. Okay, if you didn't have toothpaste, you can crib about the fact that someone didn't buy toothpaste for you. Or if you say, "Paravalada, just brush it, brush pandu poite iru," it didn't matter at all to you, right? Okay, so that's exactly what I'm trying to tell you. Please have a look at so many people. You cannot get away from stress. Okay, everyone wants to get away from stress. How can you get away from stress? Stress will be with you. What you do with the stress, yeah, that matters. Okay, how you handle what is thrown at you. இப்போ வந்து நீங்க கிரிக்கெட்ல கூட அப்படிதானப்பா, you're watching cricket and you say, "பா தோனி சார் என்ன மாதிரி அடிச்சார் சார், சென்னை சூப்பர் கிங்ஸ்." You say all that, no? அவங்க என்ன சும்மா போய் நிக்கிறாங்க. Okay, they also face the pressure, yeah, of one speedy ball coming and trying to hit your face. How do you cope with it? So they have understood that part of it, and that part is what you need to understand also. Okay, you have to take the obstacles and make a difference. Even the heartbeat also is like that, no? It goes ups and downs. Life also is like that, ups and downs. But my question is, how much down do you want to stay? How long do you want to stay? If you want to be down only, that is like a constant. Waiting in artham. Okay, you are there only. Okay, if you have to come up, you need to trigger yourself up. Okay, so yeah, this question that has come up is how to inspire disabled students. Let me tell you something. I go with the different opinion of what disablement means. All of us in some way is disabled. You don't need to have a handicap or a physical handicap to be disabled. If you're not thinking right, you're still disabled, right? Even if you got something and you're still negative, that also is disability, right? In some way or the other, we are all disabled, right? But let me show you something. Okay, I'll share a screen of a particular person, and then you tell me whether disabled people are really disabled. They don't need to be. They don't need to be there. They can get out of it, and you can create brilliant impact on people. So I'm going to show you someone called Nick Vujicic. Nick Vujicic is amazing. He's an inspiration, of course. So I'm going to share the screen, and you can see, and you can show this to your students who talk about disability. Please show them this and tell them this is what people can do. They are more able than the disabled or the able people. They're more able than
I just love life.
Look at that.
I love life. So many people come and say, "How come you smile so much?" And I'm like, well, it's a long story.
Think about it, no? I mean, you can always say that, listen, I don't have arms and legs here, so I will be sad all your life. And look at this guy. He says, I love life. I just love life. Think about it, no? See what all he does with his life. Okay, so you have to see it, then only you'll understand it.
Hey, everybody, you want to count with
He
you?
motivates children, of course. And Yeah.
She watches them, color magazines, and TV screens, wish she could be more like them and in her eyes. There is more like them. When someone people admire for beauty. So right now she stares at a window, wishing all the wrong places. You're beautiful.
He's swimming. Think about it.
You're beautiful. You're looking for you're beautiful. Round the earth. Love you, man. She stares at a window. She could change. When she catches a reflection, she hopes it was another way.
So please show them this video, ma'am. Please show them this video and tell them that disability is in your mind. Okay, if you want to feel that way, you can feel that way. But there are a hell of a lot of examples of people who do brilliant stuff. Okay. Yes. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. There are many comments that we are all motivated by your speech and all those things. Many comments are there, positive comments are there, and thank you so much, sir. And if there are no more questions, we can wind up. And so the feedback link will be posted in the comment box. Feedback link is posted in the comment box. So fill in the feedback form with the proper mail ID, and e-certificates will be sent to that mail ID. Please fill in that form. And on behalf of GSS Jain College, I wholeheartedly thank our speaker, squadron leader, SHREE Unni Nair, Director at Excel Group. Thank you so much, sir, for this motivational speech. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you. Our heartfelt thanks to our secretary and correspondent for the support. Thank you, sir. Our sincere thanks to our principal, Dr. M.K. Malati, ma'am, for the continuous support and guidance. Thank you, ma'am. I thank each and every one of the faculty members for joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you, one and all.
All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.